Hey guys, I'm Dylan Enright, and I'm here for the Creed, and today I'm excited to introduce you to Mr. Radlein, a new member of our faculty here at Saints, and who's a former CFL player. Now, before we get too into things, I should ask, what do you do here at Saints?
Well, I'm actually in the advancement office, and so I'm responsible for managing the One campaign, which is effectively to help us raise the funds to build some new buildings here at the senior school and do some refurbishments at the junior school.
Okay, sounds good. So, based on your CFL career, is there anything you kind of take from your CFL, I guess, the past, and are able to use it in your life here, in your job at Saints?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing I took from professional sports was the idea of consistent improvement. But it's not consistent improvement that's, that's self-deprecating or is, inflexible. It's the understanding that you can quite literally get better every single day you get up, from the time you're born to the time you die, and still have room to grow, right? So it's not about trying to achieve some goal. It's just about, you got up today, you have an opportunity, so make the most of your opportunity.
It's a good way to look at life, I guess. So, as you know, Saints doesn't have a football team, and kind of in general, high school football, at least within Canada, is kind of on the decline a bit. Mm-hmm. And so, what's your opinion on high school football and problems with concussions and injuries?
Well, look, as to what the broader implications or why high school football is declining in Canada, I have no idea. But look, concussions are something that are much broader than that. I mean, they happen in soccer, they happen in hockey, they can happen in a lot of different sports. Now, in terms of awareness, I mean, it is absolutely about time that there was more of a conversation about that, because certainly the culture I kind of came up in was one of, you got to be tough and right, and if you're not bleeding, you can go back on the field, and we obviously know that's not the case, right? You can be hurt and pretty severely hurt, and have no broken bones or no blood. So fortunately for me, my parents, were both well educated. We've been raised to be quite aware, and so I didn't play football not knowing that there was some risk. I mean, you can't charge into another person at full speed and not expect there to be some trade-offs. But look, for me, I was always safe. I knew I had the backing of my parents to say, hey, look, I'm not feeling well, I'm not going back on the field. And so for me, I don't think there's too much to learn from the concussion debate, but I know for a lot of guys that there are. A lot of guys weren't aware of the risks they were undertaking playing the game, and that's not okay. A lot of people weren't protected when they said, hey, I can't go back on the field, and that's not okay in any sport. And so yeah, I'm glad the conversation's being discussed. I certainly, this is my very humble opinion. I think we have a bit of a tendency as a culture to kind of like over-rotate on issues like, oh, well, concussions. Well, look, I'm not saying it's not serious, but at the same time, there are a lot of people that play football that go on to careers as doctors, dentists, lawyers, entrepreneurs, engineers, right? So there's no, I mean, look, everybody has their life to live. Everybody makes the most of each day in the way they think makes sense, and I just don't think you are supposed to live life in a bubble wrap, right?
That's a very good point. Yeah, and I think for sure about the educating people about these new types of injuries. Like you said, you don't always have to be bleeding to be hurt. I think that's a very good point you brought up. Fortunately, that's all the time we have today. So thank you, Mr. Radlein, for having this interview with us.
Certainly.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate the questions.